How you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and I'm here with my buddy Logan over here, and we just watched the new Avengers Endgame trailer, and I gotta say, we thought it was awesome. Did you think it was awesome? Well, he went back to sleep, but yeah, he thought it was awesome too. And I don't normally do these kind of what they call trailer reaction videos, but I was so moved by this trailer, and I guess that's the best word I could use, was moved. I wanted to just express my thoughts on it. So hopefully bear with me, and you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well once you see the trailer, what you thought of it. And even though there's not, I wouldn't say there was a ton of like new revelations in this trailer. It wasn't like there was a ton of new reveals or anything. I thought what this trailer, why it was so moving to me is, you know, for those of us who have been essentially waiting for this moment for the last 11 years, you know, this trailer does a good job of kind of expressing the climactic moment that I think we're all expecting with Endgame.
We're the Avengers. We gotta finish this. You trust me? I do.
You know, if you recently just started watching Marvel movies and maybe you've only watched a few here and there, I'm not sure this movie, and definitely I'm not sure this trailer would impact you quite the same way. But again, if you're somebody like me that's been watching these movies since day one with the first Iron Man movie and have been waiting 11 years for this moment, I think this trailer does a good job of kind of conveying that feeling. And with that, you know, I just wanted to point out some things. I will put a link to the trailer just in case you haven't seen it yet, or if you want to watch it again. If you're like me, I've already watched it like 5 times, so you know, you probably will watch it more than once. So I will put a link in the trailer or in the video description if you want to see the whole thing, especially without me babbling on about it. But anyway, and I'm just going to point out some things here that maybe you missed. You know, I always laugh when I see titles in YouTube videos that say 10 things you missed in the trailer, or in articles and stuff, and it's like, how do you know I missed it? But these are things that I noticed in the trailer that maybe you missed or you didn't miss that I thought was interesting. So first of all, this scene here where we see essentially it looks like Cap, and I don't think this is the first time they're being reunited, but looks like they're in the middle of some kind of mission because Cap's got some kind of earpiece in his one ear there. But and Stark is looking quite gray in this scene, but I felt this was very moving where we see Tony and Stark, and Stark is like, "Do you trust me?" and Cap looks at him and says, "I do." I thought that was one of the most powerful scenes in this trailer. Now, other things I've noticed is I feel like that this movie, and this movie is said to be literally over 3 hours long, so it's going to be a very long movie, which I'm excited for. It means they don't have to rush things. It means they hopefully will flesh things out quite well. I mean, again, we've been waiting 11 years for this, so we really want this to be big and climactic, and so I'm glad that it's a very long movie. I will definitely be going to the bathroom before the movie starts, and because I'm not going to want to leave in the middle of the movie and miss anything, but definitely glad that it's going to be a long one. But I feel like how time transpires in this movie, and maybe there's time travel involved in this, I don't know, but I feel like, you know, this isn't going to be something that just happens over the course of a few days. I feel like maybe things are going to pick up shortly after Infinity War, the events of Infinity War. But by the time we get to the end of the movie, it's going to be months, maybe even years since those events transpire. And things that I've noticed in the various trailers and stuff, like in this scene here, you can see it looks like a group of the Avengers are going off on some kind of submission. It's not everybody, but we see Captain Marvel, we see Black Widow, we see War Machine, we see Thor, we see Captain America, and we see Rocket. And I don't know if they're flying towards Thanos or something along those lines. Maybe they're heading out to the Kree, I don't know, but definitely what the thing I notice here is that Black Widow has short hair and it's still blonde. So to me, that would be an indication that whatever the scene is, it's taking place shortly after the events of Infinity War. Now, there are other times in the movie where Black Widow has much longer hair. She's gone back to the red color with the blonde tip on the ponytail. But definitely, you know, there seems like, you know, it takes a while for your hair to grow out. So there's some time that's, you know, definitely transpired over course of events during the movie. So that's interesting, and we'll have to see how that plays out. And another thing I noticed, this scene where it looks like they're in Avengers compound and we see a group of them. And one thing, first thing I thought when I saw this scene, it was like the thought that came to my mind was, come at me, bro. It looks like, you know, they're getting ready to stand up and stand off against somebody. I don't know who entered the room here. Maybe it's Captain Marvel. Maybe it's somebody else completely different. I don't know. Maybe it's General Ross. I don't know. But definitely they look like, you know, they're not happy to see whoever has come into the room. But the other thing I noticed is Rocket, he's got a new suit on here, and this seems like it's kind of just a tribute to suits that he would wear in the comic books with the red stripes and everything. So that's kind of a nice little touch there. We see Hawkeye. So I don't know what the hell Hawkeye's been doing since he left the Avengers, but looks like maybe working in a tattoo parlor. Maybe that explains the mohawk and this huge tattoo that he now has on his arm there. I don't recall Hawkeye ever having a tattoo in the comics like that, so I don't know what the reason for that is. Hopefully there will be some kind of explanation. And it doesn't, I mean, the tattoo itself, I mean, it looks kind of interesting, but I don't see any kind of Easter eggs in the tattoo design itself. So again, we'll have to see what that is. You know, maybe that explains the Ronin costume that he was hiding so it could hide the tattoo from his fellow Avengers. I'm not sure Cap would approve of a tattoo like that on his arm. But anyway, other things I noticed, looks like in this trailer there is a setup for a huge battle to take place between Thanos and then the three main original Avengers, Thor, Captain America, and Hawkeye. So we see this one scene where we see the three of them walk up on Thanos. You'll notice in this scene that Thanos, it's kind of blurry, but you see Thanos sitting there, and it looks like, you know, maybe he's waiting for the heroes to arrive. I'm not sure. He doesn't have his helmet on. We see that strange double-bladed weapon that we've been seeing with the action figures. It's stuck in the ground, and his helmet is resting on the top of that. So, and to me, like I said, this looks like it's building up to a battle between the three original main Avengers, Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, and Thanos. Now, I don't know if this is something that takes place at the end of the movie. That would be maybe your logical thought, but this might be, especially if time travel and such is involved, this might be something that takes place more in the middle or something, and maybe they lose this battle and then have to go back and try something else. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but definitely I think there's going to be a battle scene between the three main Avengers. At some point there'll probably be a battle with all of them, but right here this looks like it's going to be a standoff between the three main Avengers, Iron Man, Cap, and Thor against Thanos there. Cap, again, another indication that a lot of time transpires over the course of the movie. Cap seems to change his outfits at various times. Sometimes we see him wearing the Commander Rogers outfit that he sported in Winter Soldier. Other times he's wearing an outfit that looks more in keeping with what he was wearing in Civil War. So I don't know the reason for why he keeps changing his suits, and you know, again, is time travel involved, or is it just because a lot of time transpires and he wears different outfits? I don't know, but definitely that's something I've noticed is kind of interesting, that he's wearing multiple suits in this movie. And another thing I've noticed in this trailer is it looks like there's going to be a lot of reflection from our characters. You know, we see Stark looking at the picture of him and Peter, and I'm sure, you know, my feeling is that Hawkeye with his family probably did not survive the purge, the snap, and so that's probably really the reason why he donned the Ronin costume. So we've seen in other trailers, like, you know, him reflecting back on his family and stuff. So I think there's going to be a lot of reflection. We see Cap staring into the mirror and things like that. So definitely, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of reflection by our characters. And again, I think, you know, this isn't all going to just be action. I think there's going to be, you know, this isn't going to be, and I could be wrong here, but I don't, with the 3 hours and everything, I don't think this is just going to be a movie where it's just nonstop action from one scene to the next. I mean, there will be times where it's like that, I think, but I think there are also going to be time where we really kind of sit down and just kind of reflect with these characters. And truth is, I hope it's not the case, but this might be the last time we see some of these characters. I mean, you know, a lot of rumors floating around that, you know, Cap's going to be killed or Iron Man might be killed. I mean, we've already, you know, Chris Evans has already come out and said that this was his last movie. Now, I don't know how to, you know, whether he's being truthful or whether he couldn't have his mind changed down the road, that remains to be seen. But definitely I feel like there's going to be a changing of the guard in this movie, which does make me a little, I guess, worried. Not that I dislike other characters, but I really feel like that, that they should keep their main core characters as long as they keep doing these movies. I mean, it doesn't mean that like Iron Man and Cap have to continue to have solo movies, but I do think when they do these kind of big climactic movies that they should bring those characters back, or have them appear in other people's solo movies and things like that. I really think if they killed off Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, either both of them or one of them, I really feel like that would be a mistake on Marvel's part. Not that I have any problem with Captain Marvel or taking the lead into the next phase or what have you, but I feel like that just those characters are so integral part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that it would be a mistake if they got rid of them. Now that doesn't mean that you couldn't do a storyline where it looks like one of them are killed and essentially then we work up and they're brought back or what have you, or Skull invasion or what other millions of theories that fans have been throwing out there since really day one that these movies started. But anyway, so that's really where I'm going to leave it here. It's not a super long trailer, but I definitely, again, I really felt it was impactful. I really felt like, for those of us who have been waiting for this moment for like 11 years, this trailer does a very good job of kind of conveying the feeling of, this is it finally. And we're only a few weeks away. I mean, this movie is going to be out at the end of this month. So we're just a few weeks away. And again, tickets have gone on sale. So I've heard that some people have actually been having to wait online to buy their movie tickets. That might be a first. But this thing's going to be a huge box office success. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to break all kinds of records and stuff. This is the big one. So definitely I think Marvel and Disney are going to have a good day at the box office. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are you excited for? Are you going to be going to see it on opening day? Or are you going to wait for the crowds to disperse a little bit? Let me know. And until next time, guys, follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Head over to the Marvelous News message boards. Get entered into the contest where we're giving away $100 store credit. Share your thoughts on the movie there, as well as all the cool action figures. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.